Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Notice posted in accordance with the Wisconsin statutes, open meeting law. Could you read the notice of public hearing?
Wisconsin, County of Burnett, Monday, December 2, at 6 p.m. at the Burnett County Government. Siren was following. 215, North Camp Properties 4, LLC as Web Resort. This notice is hereby given to all persons in the town of Webb Lake, Burnett, Boston, on behalf of application relative to a proposal to vary the terms of the Burnett County Land Use and Shoreland Protection Code ordinances as follows: to leave campsites 1 through 8 and their current accessories in their present locations, which are within the ordinary high water mark of lake, within the wet and within the campground exterior buffer setback 30925 Amakagan Trail in the RR 2 CSM Volume 20, page 227, 6 and 7, section 41. Variance 2220 Speckle, hereby given to all persons in the town of Jackson, Burnett County. Terrence and Julie Speckle have made an application relative to the proposal to vary the terms of the Burnett County Land Use and Shoreland Protection Code of ordinances as follows: leave items that were constructed without land use permits at a reduced setback in the PUD zoning district, in addition to Voyager Village in the northwest quarter of the North 40.
And we have approval of the agenda order.
A second to approve the agenda.
The board members have all visited all the sites. Public comments on other than scheduled hearings tonight will have a 3-minute time limit. It is being recorded, so we ask that only one person speak at a time. The board asks that one person from announced variance be designated by the applicant to present their case before the board and come up and take the seat here in the center. The board will then ask for public comments and any received correspondence from local authorities or neighbors concerning the announced variance. Then the board will close that portion of the hearing and deliberate amongst themselves, asking any questions to clarify items of concern. Vote will be taken before moving on to the next variance. Applicant, local officials, and DNR shall receive within 30 days a letter summarizing the hearing, also including information on applicants' rights to appeal the decision in circuit court within 30 days. Any person aggrieved by this decision, or taxpayer, or any officer, department, board of review, or bureau of the county may, within 30 days after filing of this decision in the office of the Board of Adjustment, commence an action in circuit court seeking remedy available by certiorari. With that, the first one is variance 2215, and we have the letter from the DNR. I want to read that into the record here.
Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources in Madison to the Burnett County Board of Adjustment in Siren. Dear board members, the Department of Natural Resources has received the notice for December 5th, 2022, the public hearing concerning the variance request submitted by North Camp Properties LLC. The variance is requested to permit current accessory structures to remain in their present location, which are within the ordinary high water mark and wetland. Without stating so directly, the variance is to excuse one of the required conditions, 1, of conditional use permit, CUP 2054, granted in the shoreland zone as defined in S 4521, Burnett County Shoreland Protection. Thank you to county staff for discussing this Among other things, the department was told no records were found regarding how long these structures associated with a variance UP 54 Condition 1 have been in place. As such, the department is unable to conclude whether these sites were ever in conformance. Simply put, the department does not believe it is procedurally appropriate to consider a variance from a required condition in a conditional use permit. The department believes using a variance process in this board to override a condition of a grant UP that was heard, discussed, and voted on by the Land Use and Information Committee would undermine established legal Burnett County zoning processes. Ultimately, the board believes this matter should be considered and voted on by the Burnett Committee. Mike Wenholz, Shoreland Program Coordinator.
So with that, I think that we agree that we dismissed during this one. We're gonna dismiss this.
Just a point of clarification, Anders Hellquist, the attorney for North Camp. Can we just get a formal order from the board back to Jason or the land, at what the board's decision to be?
Yes. Seeing this and it goes.
I'll make a motion to dismiss variance 2215.
And to send back?
Send it back to Land Use Committee
Or Jason?
or Land Use Committee to either, address.
That's fine, gentlemen, but I believe they would have to make an application to land use. Application was to the board, of adjustment. Say it should go back to land use, but I think you have to make a formal request for it to go.
So, in the board of
Mr.
adjustment,
Gundel,
yeah,
Mr. Gundel.
Corp counsel.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't go back there, I think that's where it should be, but I think that in order for that, land use committee to make a decision or make any hearing on it, you will have to make the request.
And,
Yeah.
and the board can, reverse modify, I mean,
Right.
what
Yes.
powers they can do to
Absolutely.
send it
We're on-
back.
We're on the same board then, we're on the same board.
We're on the same, yeah, we're at least on the same page.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
in the same boat, or on the
Oh,
same
wherever
shelter,
we are,
or whatever it is these days, yeah. So, that makes sense, and we think there's some more things that, develop record for this board.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second. Okay, that one is dismissed.
Thank you.
A couple minutes here, and then we will go on. Do you need to notify this? Do you need to do something?
No,
Okay.
we had speakers signed up for this.
Do we have, well, do we have any public comments other than the items on the hearings tonight? Anybody else? Thank you, yeah. Thanks, Steve. Okay, just a minute here to get our paperwork, and then we'll do the other one.
No, it's a hard one, Jimmy.
Don't jinx us, Dave.
Okay, sorry. I'm not,
Yeah, please,
I don't
yeah.
show up enough to do that.
Okay, variance 22-20. Somebody take the front seat here and kind of summarize what your question? We've all been out there, and We have our the application and stuff in our hand.
What we're requesting is permission to keep, some patio that we installed up. We moved in, we were given a survey map, and I think I include that in the stuff there. It said that the line went 65 feet off the back of the house, which was our understanding, but come to find out the house is placed too far back, you know, and that was something that was way out of our hands. And in addition, I think it mentioned something about a couple of retaining walls, and those have been in there since the house was built as well. With our misunderstanding of we installed and with Voyager Village, which I have they granted us, an easement, moved over like a few inches or something. We took half the patio out, we moved some rocks that were part of a rock garden back. They just gave us that easement. We're asking the board tonight is to grant us, easement to leave the balance of our patio.
We see your.
Yeah, you can keep this, this is a copy for you, so I can go.
Voyager Village POA does hereby grant, bargain, and convey onto Terrence Speckle and Julie Beth Speckle an easement or variance for currently existing rock border, which is on to Voyager Village POA common property, as well as a maintenance easement to allow Speckles onto Voyager Village POA common property for the said easement variance is limited in time to currently existing is replaced and or needs to be replaced, easement will terminate. Duration of this easement, Speckles will remove the rock border that is situated upon Voyager Village POA common property. In addition, Speckles are responsible for all costs associated with removing said rock border and fixing any damage to the Voyager POA common property. Voyager Village A&E Committee Chair Heenan.
Anybody else have any other comments?
Did the survey work and mark the boundaries and location?
According to this site plan, is this the only portion that's in question right there, that little?
Yeah, and we moved that.
Oh,
Originally, there was more to start with, and then they decided to
Bring it back to that lot line.
take it back. And
On this map, this is the Voyager community property, which is usually the lake shores or the water edge.
it's the buffer between there and the
Buffer
property.
Correct.
It surrounds all the property. In this case, it was buffer between, property and the adjoiner with property. Multiple lines out there too.
They're white.
What?
It looked really white too.
Yeah.
In the snow, took me a while to find the stairs.
Sorry, we didn't go out and paint any orange lines.
No, that's.
Painted some of them though.
Any other comments? Do we have any call-ins or anybody? Any other questions from the board? If not, you can take a seat and we'll deliberate amongst ourselves. Thank you. You certainly don't see this. It's contrary to public interest, nobody sees it.
No, and just from precedent, usually, like, you know, maybe it's the hearsay or whatever, but Voyager tends to be pretty up on what they allow, and having the letter from the, association tends to be a lot of confidence, and especially when it's some of it.
Have some kind of a favor outside the walkout. Or as it was worth.
Yeah.
I see what they're trying to do.
Only, like I said, that's the only portion, and Voyager will, as the life of that retaining wall falls, it'll fall back in that line, which is literally a couple.
I think we want to reference that. Not overriding this. Good thing to do.
Enter the letter with the file.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve variance 2220 Speckle, to leave what is constructed without land use has reduced setbacks, to follow the conditions of the Voyager Village POA. Is that the correct term?
Dated 23/22.
10/23/2022. Land use permits to be obtained for the items by 5/1 of 2023, and follow all local, state, and code procedures.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I second it.
Aye.
Carried. Oh, it's granted, then you just need to contact the land use office in normal business hours and. Carried. Thank you.
It is.
Thank you. We do appreciate you coming.
Yes.
We need to do a survey now that you've got.